Hello everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about a company that's been causing also some people to talk about it. Since I work on the 3D printing business, I'm an engineer. I 3D print a lot of stuff in polymer, metal, things like that. And a lot of people have been asking me about 3D printing. Why is 3D printing becoming a big thing nowadays? So 3D printing, for all the people that probably don't know, it doesn't just stay within just a regular 3D printing of plastics and just very basic concepts. So in the aerospace business, there's a lot of 3D printing applications that have been making strides for metal printing. So nowadays, there's three big companies that make metal 3D printers. It's 3D Systems. You got Renisho, so those are considered one, and then you get SLM company. It's a German company, and EOS, it's another German company. They make metal 3D printers, and in the last 5 years, 3D printing in metal has been a very hot topic, because a lot of the military, aerospace, and power applications for high temperature applications, you can actually utilize and take advantage of a lot of these things in 3D printing, because you can actually design for additive, meaning that you can actually improve the design of something that you usually would do as a casting, or just as a very basic shape that couldn't be organic, couldn't have a very efficient cooling. And so this pretty much made it in a way that the performance of the component was limited. And so a lot of people has been asking me is that, hey, can you explain 3D printing as more than just your regular printing elephants that are 1 by 1 inch? That's just the very basic things that you would teach in school. I have a master's degree, and half of my master's degree was focused on additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing, they call it, it's pretty much welding, but it's done it could be done in different ways. The first and most common way, it's a powder bed fusion, meaning that you just have a very thin layer of powder, and then you have a laser that will melt pretty much the powder, and then the laser bed will drop, get another layer, and you keep adding and adding and hence the word additive manufacturing, because you add up layers and you center, meaning you melt the powder and you create whatever you want to do. And so there's this company that has been causing my attention, and like I said, a lot of people have been asking me about it. They're called NANO Dimension, and they say they are electrifying additive manufacturing. So because I know additive manufacturing, and I know because I work in an additive manufacturing company, I wanted to take a look at these and actually understand a little better what they're actually offering. Let's jump back to Thinkorswim and see what's happening. So you're talking about a company that has been trading early this year at 50 cents a share, and now we're talking $8 a share. So there has been dramatic increase of this thing, 20 times almost. And you gotta mention our friend Kathy Wooth over there. She's been buying this thing, and whenever ARK Invests buys this a stock, and you could see it if you go to their website, you got to pay attention. You got to look and then understand if they're probably right. But I always like to cut the crap, go straight to the point, understand the company, and pretty much make sense on why I'm putting money on it. Let's go back to this paper that I found that they've pretty much released this year. So Nano Dimensions, they pretty much, from what I can understand, they make machines. They make a machine that can pretty much print, and when they say print, I would say, I'll explain what they do, and they explain it here. They make PCBs, the motherboards, or they make all sorts of electronic boards that could be fabricated conventionally. They could print them, and this is pretty smart. And then by printing, it allows you to do very creative designs of circuit boards. But they pretty much say, okay, we got the 3D systems, the printing systems, we got the training and the support, and we lease the machines. So they're selling machines and they fabricate whatever you tell them. So they got a system in where they have the business model is we sell the machines pretty much. This is just because they're trying to sell you the machine. So they show you they can do it, but the money, they make money by selling the machines. That's it, period. So obviously this is the way it's just how it works. So what they do is they add up the conductor and the insulators as they print it, and what they do is they depose them. They additively depose it, both materials, and then this is a professional multi-layer PCB, meaning that they have several layers that connect with one another, and then that pretty much creates the actual plan. So on this additive process, you don't have to etch, you don't have to press anything, because since it's a multi-layer, the conventional, it's like compare casting. When you're making a part, has a pouring a molten metal, and then you make it has an additive process where you're actually building the part without having to do all this post process. So it's very simple here. So this is a vertical stack integrated, so they can actually assure that you can have designs of circuit boards, you can have a very integrated unit, you could do all sorts of things. So they're saying that they could produce high-speed PCBs, multi-layers. It's way better design. The fast prototyping, they could do this in hours. They could do a design. It's the same thing. It's a 3D modeling. You do it quick, you print it quick. It makes sense. But there's nothing new, okay? Nothing new in the sense that we knew that with additive manufacturing, you could do this. So they have machines. They're calling the Dragonfly AME, so additive manufacturing, electrifying machines, whatever they want to call them. And they're saying that they're controlled by an AI algorithm that produce electronic devices with 3D injection dielectric. In other words, they're selling you this machine, and this is a machine that this is pretty much the conventional, and this is the machine. It's the same thing that I've explained before. So this is just the same. They said that they have sold only 60 machines. They have 430 million in cash by December 12, 2020, and then they have short and long-term bank deposits. They've only sold 60 systems, which is not a lot. Let's look at their financials. So they have $80 million invested mostly in R&D over 6 years. They have 138 million shares. They got this cash. They got no debt, which is pretty impressive because they got the money somewhere. They invested it from the money they got, but they got no debt. So they got this is the machines, so 49, 11, 29. So upgrades. I mean, so it's a revenue of 13 million. That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. So their margins are pretty low on these machines. The revenue growth, gross margin, yeah, I mean, they're selling machines. That's all they're doing. I'm wondering if they mentioned something about patents. They probably patent this. They probably got some IP for this that they keep. So this is the time now. So what they're trying to do, this is the day where they have only 60 machines sold. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. So the way I'm thinking is this is going to be a long-term investment if you put money here. There's a risk. This might not work. I mean, I'm a little skeptical on the machine. So far, I have not seen... it looks like a very simple system to me. It doesn't look like it's a vacuum. It doesn't seem that it's a very expensive... it doesn't look like it needs a lot of... it doesn't need a cooling... a chiller unit. It doesn't need anything else. It looks like it's very simple. This I understand, and this is the business case where they say everything is done in China and the US only doesn't do anything. All the IP is a major cause of concern. How design companies regard. So all the PCBs are in Vietnam, Taiwan, and Korea. So pretty much here, this is the IP for the PCB, and the rest is just China. It's in the US. So it's pretty much nothing. So in my opinion, they go through this, you can talk about this, and they got some companies here, Harris and the Department of Defense and things like that. This is the way that's conventionally done. This is how you can do it. You can 3D print the things into the actual dielectric, and you can connect. So it's a pretty smart way. Now, I still don't see details about the machine itself on how it works. They show you the machine. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the details on the machines, but it's pretty much. I think it makes sense that this could be potentially. It could bring some good things. I think it could bring money into this company. I just don't know if they actually have this IP protected, which might be the case, assuming that this is just okay. There it is. So IP, in-house rapid prototyping and production. Okay. Why for electronics? They have 60 3D printing machines were sold, leading blue chip defense research and accelerate protect IP. Yeah, but here's my thing. I have experience with the two German machines companies that make 3D printers, and they're public, and I can show you one. Look, SLM Solutions. SLM Solutions started as a company that just pretty much SLM Solutions stock. They make, this is the company. This is a 3D print metal, EOS, the companies that I mentioned before. And these guys, you're talking. Look what happened. So when the boom of 3D printing started going on, they started selling machines. This thing was like $80, $50, $60, and now it's worth $20. EOS. They're not in the US, but Concept Laser is, but it's owned by GE, so it doesn't. 3D Systems is they have the stock, and they're probably the same thing. When the boom on the 3D printer started in 2013, but then it dropped. So selling these machines might be okay, but the thing is that some of these companies already own their own machines, and they can have. If the point on making this company successful by selling machines, I see another company like this other people where I see the EOS and SLM, where I see them come up with a machine, but some other people could come up with a machine or take this machine and then custom or modify it and make it better. But the business case for a company that makes these things is to buy a bunch of machines and then have a factory of machines that make the products that you really want. Now, that's actually good, but you have to make an investment on machines, and then you're gonna have to sell the company if you wanna sell it, but you gotta sell just the machines because that's all you have. So there is a point in where the company might make money by selling these units, but I just don't see them becoming the actual manufacturer of this product. From what I can see right here, they are pretty much showing off the machine. They say we can rapid prototype. We have more than 3 dozen patent applications. We have innovative embedded piezoelectric transducer printing capacitors. So they got the technology, but I would like to see where this thing is gonna come. I am seeing the other companies, the metal companies that actually have way more business than these people, because there's a lot of aerospace companies and rocket companies that are buying way more metal printers, and you could see what the companies are doing. It was a hype, but then they dropped. So there you go, folks. That's my take. I don't know if this is going to be a good investment yet. I would like to see what this is going to do. I don't think ARK Invest is actually, I think they're seeing the potential because it's electronics that you're printing. However, I just don't know how much are these machines. I just don't know. I mean, based on how much they sold, let's say that they sold this and the revenue is 13, 14 million. I mean, you're talking $400,000 a machine. In my opinion, I think that's a little bit expensive for what one unit could cost when a regular single laser metal printer is probably 250, 300 off the market, off the shelf, like black market. So I just don't know if this is that there's going to be a case for this. You want to design and you want to actually make the parts for people, then that makes it a total different thing. But right now, I think NANO Dimension is selling machines instead of actually growing a business as a whole. So I would look at it. I have it on my watch list. I'm gonna pay attention to it, but I would put a very small amount right now. So folks, see you later.